What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Today we'll be taking a look at the brand new boss arenas up against the old Ark Survival Evolved boss arenas. So let me know what you guys think about the arenas down below, and thank you to Nitrado for sponsoring this video. So guys, here we have the Broodmother boss arena, and as you can see, there is a lot more foliage. There is a lot more going on over here. In terms of the cave itself, though, it looks very similar to the standard one on ASE. We've still got all those eggs on the wall. We've got the bodies up in the webbing up here. There just seems to be a heck of a lot more foliage. It also appears that they removed the river that ran under the Broodmother Arena. So bringing in Spinos might not be really eligible all that much now for the Broodmother, considering that they would be getting no water buff. But as you can see, there is a bunch more foliage added. Oh, there is a little bit of a stream here. Never mind. So Spinos technically still could be viable in this little pool that you've got right here. So it's just a bunch more foliage, a bunch more trees, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think it does help sell the idea that this is kind of the den of a giant spider, where there's a lot of foliage and stuff like that. I do have to say the webbed up mammoth does look pretty cool. You can tell it's the mammoth because of the trunk, not the trunk, the tusks. And the poor pteranodon screaming in absolute horror. But all in all, it's kind of very similar to the standard one. Like I said, just a lot more foliage. So let's move on to the Megapithecus. And here we have the old Broodmother den. As you can see, a lot less foliage, a lot more water as well, making Spinos slightly more viable. And I don't believe we saw a T-Rex in the webs on the other one. It had mammoths and pteranodons. So quite a drastic change between the two of them, I think. Also, the lighting in the newer one is slightly better as well. So here are the PT and the mammoth that we saw earlier. PT isn't screaming out in pain and agony, and the mammoth was just over here. And here is the mammoth. So slight differences between them, but obviously the new one is going to look better. Now guys, today's video is sponsored by Nitrado, and I've been using Nitrado for years and I've not had a problem with them. Their servers are fast, reliable, and if I ever have an issue, their customer support team is always quick and ready to help me solve any problems present. So I'm also currently recording this video on my Nitrado server, and I do plan on hosting more servers through them. So if you're after your own Nitrado server as well, you can click my link below to order one now. Thank you Nitrado for sponsoring this video. And here we have the Megapithecus Arena. So at first glance, once again, more foliage, a few more trees added in. The water particles look very cool though. We've got a big temple up here. We've got some crushed debris, which is all still reminiscent of the original map. Can't go up above there. The bridge itself, I wonder if this is still a kill zone. Yeah, most definitely. This is still definitely a kill zone here. So you don't want to walk your dinos over there because they will plummet to their death. We've got some collapsed structures down the bottom here. The lake's looking nice. It's a shame that we can't go over there to take a look. And then the temple itself. Hey, big fella, how you doing? So kind of just more enhanced graphics sort of thing. It doesn't look like they really added too much here. Maybe a bit more foliage bushes, which is the running theme for ASA. But yeah, it doesn't look like there's been too much of a change for the Megapithecus Arena, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately, it obviously does look much nicer than the standard one. And we've got just this random wall just chilling here. And here we have the old Megapithecus Arena. Now, this might be a little bit drastic, but I think I prefer the old one compared to the newer one, to be honest. It's a lot more... Not nicer, but I think there's just more to it. The new arena did have, like, the new structures and everything like that dotted around the area, but, like, it lacked these pillars, it lacked some of the monkey statues, it lacked all this detail on the wall over here. It had been turned into doors. I'm kind of the opinion that this arena is slightly better. In my opinion, anyway. And finally, we have the Dragon Arena. This actually looks almost exactly the same. I guess because there's not really much space for you to put foliage when it's a volcanic magma landscape. It just kind of looks more refined and high res. And here we have the old Dragon Arena. The lava kind of feels more alive in this one than it does in the new one. But once again, that's just my opinion. And finally, we have the Tek Overseer boss arena. So this is the first area where you spawn in, and you can see we've got the other arenas around us, the Megapithecus, the Broodmother, and the Dragon. And once again, quite a bit more foliage. Is any of this harvestable? No, none of this is harvestable, although it does move around you, which is quite fancy. Something is going on here, and I'm not entirely sure what it is. The panels on the side rotate, and I'm not sure what it's for.
life I...
That's where I live. And here we have the arena itself. And we can see Aberration over there at the back. And a bunch of the other arcs as well. I'm not sure if that's Extinction over there, or if it's Scorched, or if it's just another island. Because they look very similar. I don't remember. That's definitely another island. Here we have the Overseer Cave. You can see that there's a lot less foliage in this one, and also the lighting is slightly better in the new one as well. So here we can see the other arcs, and there's also a weird sort of texture like we're underwater almost. So the new obviously didn't have that going on, but yeah, in terms of everything else, I would say very similar. I would say very similar indeed. Now guys, those were all the boss arenas and the Tek boss arena. So let me know what you think of the differences. And once again, thank you to Nitrado for sponsoring this video. But other than that guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.